It's about filtering out the low end, so all this coming through is the left and right of this weird kind of rhythmic thing. And so when it's going with the drums, you get this, and it's like almost non-existent. But the difference between some of my work being really exciting to me, and I hesitate to use the word magical, but to me that's how I want it to be, is that sort of stuff. And so when I give it to people, unless you know what the intention of that is, and it's hard to articulate that intention in like a real linear sense, as opposed to like, I want that to feel like there's an oncoming storm and there's a certain amount of chaos, and it's like it's meant to represent like subliminal activity, right? So that's why it's in there. But you know, most people I work with, when they mix, like, oh, you don't need to know shit, let's just get rid of it. And I said, now it just sounds like a rock record. It's even worse for live, because I got all these things and people are just like, well, let's take all of that out. I'm like, yeah, but a lot of the times the riffs for me, it's not like Metallica or something where it's like the focus of the song is the riff. The riff is a vehicle for all these other things to exist. Like that intro section there, the whole intention of it is to have this really hypnotic beat that flips around, you know, and the flip around should be ignored by the fact that there's this omnipresent sort of like psycho thing. And but to have it fade in creates an emotional tension that I think is really important. So when it's all together, it's like just drums, clearly. So it's not in yet. Right? But the way that that works is such a fine line between it just being a dumb riff. And so I can't get people to mix this stuff. What I can do is I can hire people who are willing to just do exactly as I ask. But the amount of people whose skill set are higher than mine that are willing to do that is almost none. You know, everybody's gotten to the point where they don't need to be told what to do. Right? So I'm having to learn. I'm getting better at it, to be honest. I feel that as long as I can have the drums mixed in a way that I like, then I don't have to worry about that, then I'm good to go. But again, this whole vocal effect thing here, where's the psycho? So that guy there, and then the psycho effect, where's it? So let me just solo this section to hear how this fade in works. I love that, because it's supposed to be like, it starts as this dumb riff, but then behind you is this thing, and then when you recognize it is coming, it's like, well, that's terrifying, it's terrifying, it's terrifying, and then it stops. And I love that tension and release thing. So in the beginning we got this, that's fading in, and then we got the Triton, and then the orchestra, and then this guy again. And you see, I've only got this sample here panned to the left, even though I printed it in stereo, because it just freed up a little bit more real estate, right? And at the end here, we've got this, which is like the crescendo. So, and then we got the Ableton Plux that I really like, this here, but I have. And then this guy here, oh no, this is the one I like. And then the main Ableton, which is doing this. So it gives movement in the headphones. Right? So having this sort of like psychedelic undercurrent to what essentially comes out as just being a dumb rock riff, I really like that dichotomy. So so this first verse, I ended up just sort of filtering my voice, doing a bunch of that. And then when the choir comes in, the whole idea is this verse acts as a tension release that slowly builds up so that the crescendo by the very end of the song should be really mighty, right? Now this sample, I love this. Check this out. Right. Okay, so what I ended up doing is I had made a demo while I was writing the Empath stuff where there was a word that said level, and it was some random riff. It was like, what is a level, or it doesn't really matter. But as I was editing that demo, I looped that word level, and I just loved the effect of it because it sounded super strong. So that ended up being like the punch of this pre-chorus, and it goes like this. So. And then I filtered it. Then I added an octave and faded it. So like the whole idea with that, and I still might use that actually, because it was at first it was like originally, but in behind it, I love the effect of it sort of being a real solid punch. I had the drums follow it. And then behind that, so this next section, what I was trying to create was a sense of, for lack of a better word, pandemonium. So I like the tension with what the choir is doing. That. So we have that as like the bass line for it. So where was that? Oh, it's actually not a choir. I ended up using a choir sample for that. Oh, it was me. Oh. Yeah. And then the Ableton. I really like themes. I really like the idea of something being like a consistent, like subconscious tether to the intention of the song. So for me, it's that like throughout the song. I like the fact that even when the beat flips, it just keeps going, right? The piano. The reason I like that is because if you've got four parts that are doing something different while the beat is flipping around, all you have to do is pay attention to one and you're fine.